So in this video, we are going to learn how to add Calendly Invitee details to different sheets in Google Sheets for different events. Now suppose guys, in Calendly, you have created different events over there. And for those events, your clients and customer can book appointment with you using Calendly. And into a single Google spreadsheet, you have created multiple sheets over there with the same event name. Now you want, for example, a customer books an appointment with you for event A in Calendly. You want to enter the details of that invitee, that appointment, into the sheet name A in your Google Sheet. In similar way, if the customer books an appointment for event B, you want to add the details of that customer, that appointment, in sheet B in your Google Sheet. So here guys, we are going to set up an automation to automate this complete process. So using this automation, whenever an invitee will be created in Calendly account, automatically with the same details which they have entered while booking an appointment with you, we will be adding a new row of data into that specific sheet for which they have booked an appointment, into the specific sheet for that event for which they have booked the appointment. So if you want to know how you can set up this automation, for this you just have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, here we are on Pabbly Connect's dashboard. Now to reach this dashboard, you will get a free sign-up link of Pabbly Connect in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. And after reaching to this dashboard, just click on Create Workflow and give this workflow a name. For example, I would like to name my workflow as Calendly to Google Sheets. And then just click on Create. Now you can see that our workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we have 2 different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those 2 concepts, those 2 principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with our trigger window. So the idea here is, in my Calendly account, I have created 2 different events. First one is named as Pabbly Connect Demo and second one is named as Automation Setup. Now, whenever a new user, a new invitee is created, a user will book an appointment, an event with me for this Pabbly Connect demo for this particular event. I want to add the details of that invitee in my Google spreadsheet in which I have created a sheet named as Pabbly Connect Demo. So in this sheet, I want to enter the details of that invitee. And if the user is going to book an appointment with us for automation setup for the second event, then in that case, I want to enter the details of that user in this second sheet which I have created in the same Google spreadsheet. So this is a single Google spreadsheet in which we have created different sheets with the exact same name over here, which we have given to the name of the events. Now here guys, we are going to automate this process in such a way that whenever an invitee is created in our Calendly account, automatically the details of that invitee in all the appointment details will be added in our Google Sheet into that particular sheet of that event over here. Like if we get a new invitee for Pabbly Connect Demo, those details will be automatically added in the sheet of Pabbly Connect Demo. And if we get the invitee on a new appointment booking for automation setup this particular event, then the details of that invitee will be added in this sheet over here. In this way, right now, I just took an example of 2 events, but if you want, you can set up the same automation for multiple events as well. Like if you have 2, 3, 5 or 10 events in your Calendly account, and in this way, into a single Google spreadsheet, in different sheets, you want to add the details of these invitees, you can use this automation. So let's begin with the process. Now the first thing what we have to do is to connect our Calendly account with Pabbly Connect in the trigger window, so that we can get the details of a new invitee from Calendly inside Pabbly Connect. So here in Choose App, search for Calendly and just select it. After selecting Calendly in trigger event from this drop down, select the trigger event as invitee created. After selecting a trigger event, just click on Connect and select Add New Connection. Now here guys, we have to connect our Calendly account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, just click on this Connect with Calendly button. And because I have already logged into my Calendly account in my browser, Pabbly Connect will detect the same account and make the connection over here. After making this connection, here it is asking us for the organization and user. So in my Calendly account, I have created only one organization. That's why here in the drop down, you can see only one organization over here. And here in user guides, you can see that right now in my Calendly account, we have created only one user. That's why you can see single user from this drop down. So just select it. Then there is an important note which says, make sure you have a Calendly Pro plan in order to use this integration. So here guys, to use this integration to connect Calendly with Pabbly Connect and get the details of new invitee in our Pabbly Connect workflow, we need to have a Pro plan of our Calendly account. So here guys, after selecting the organization and user, just click on the Save and Send Test Request button. Now when we click on Save and Send Test Request, it has now changed to Waiting for Response. This means Pabbly Connect is now waiting to get the details of a new invitee being created from Calendly. So here guys, what we have to do, we have to actually create a test invitee, a dummy invitee in our Calendly account. So I will just take an example of this event named as Pabbly Connect Demo. I will just copy the link of this event and paste it in a new tab. Now after this, let's select the date as 29th of May over here and select the time as 11 AM. So we are just going to make a test booking for 11 AM at 29th of May. So here guys, at this event booking page, I'm asking the user some details like their first name, last name, email and mobile number. So name of this person is, for example, demo user. This is a dummy email address which we are going to enter. And then this is a dummy mobile number. And click on schedule event. So just now we have received a new booking, a new event booking on Calendly for this particular event named as Pabbly Connect Demo. And because we have connected our Calendly account with Pabbly Connect, we will see in our Pabbly Connect workflow, we will get the response. And yes, here in our trigger window, you can see that we have received the response. And in this response, you will see all the details of this same event booking done by an invitee. Here you can see the same email address of the person who made the booking. Then here you can see the first name, last name and the full name of the user who has scheduled an appointment with us. Then here you can see the mobile number of the user. We will scroll down further and then you can see some other details. Like here you can see the end date and time of this booking. We will scroll down. Here you can see the start date and time of this appointment of this booking which they have made. So we made a test booking for 29th of May at 11 AM, from 11 AM to 11:30 AM. And here in start date and time, you can see the date is 29th of May. But the time over here is showing 5:30 AM over here. Now this is because we have scheduled an appointment according to Indian time zone, Indian Standard Time. According to this time zone, we have scheduled this appointment in Calendly as a user. But here while receiving the response, Calendly send us the details of the appointment like start date and time and end date and time in UTC time zone over here. So here guys, we have received the exact same date and time for which the user has booked an appointment, but the time over here is in UTC time zone. That's why it is showing us 5:30 as the time of start time and it is showing us 6 as the end time. So in the next step, we have to basically change the end date and time of the appointment and start date and time of the appointment. We are going to change the time zone of these two dates. Also in the same response, you can see the resource name, the name of the event for which the user has made the booking. So on the basis of what user resource name, what name of the event we receive inside Pabbly Connect, we are going to mention that in which particular sheet in our Google spreadsheet we want to add the details. Like if we get the event name as Pabbly Connect Demo, then we are going to add the details of this invitee in Pabbly Connect Demo in this sheet. And if we get the event name as automation setup, then in that case, we are going to add the details of this invitee in this second sheet of automation setup. But before adding these details into Google Sheet, we have to change the time zone of the start date and time and end date and time of this event. So to do this, we will just scroll down, come to this action window, and we are going to use a feature of Pabbly Connect that is called Date Time Formatter. So just search for Date Time Formatter in this action step. After selecting Date Time Formatter by Pabbly, in Action Event from the drop-down, select the action event as Format Time Zone Only, or you can select Format Date with Time Zone. So the date and time format in which we have received this date and time, this is a pretty complex format. We have year, month, date, then we have T and we have this time. So we are going to change the format and the time zone, both of the things of this date and time. So just scroll down, in Action Event, select Format Date with Time Zone and then just click on Connect. After clicking on Connect, the first thing it asks us is the date. That what is the date whose format and time zone we want to change. So first we want to change the format and time zone of the start date and time of the appointment. Like the start date and time, at what date and time this appointment, this event with this user is going to get started. So we have to basically map this response of start time from this trigger response over here in this date time formatter step of date. So here guys, what we have to do, we have to basically map it, and the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field, and here in this drop down, you can see a list of all the invitee details which we have received from Calendly in the trigger window. And out of all of these details, select the response of start time over here. So in this drop down, you can see a list of all the details which we have received over here. And here we have to select this start date and time over here. Resource start time. Just select it and it will be mapped over here. So whatever start date and time the user is going to select, the invitee is going to select while booking an appointment with us on Calendly, the same start date and time will be received inside Pabbly Connect. And using this date time formatter step, we are going to change the format and the time zone of the same start date and time. We are going to change the time zone from UTC to our Indian time zone. Or instead of Indian time zone, you can select any time zone of your choice. Then it is asking us for the from format, then in which particular format this date and time is present right now. And here in this drop down, you can see a list of different formats over here. Out of all of them, this is the particular format in which this date and time is present right now. So we have selected this particular format over here. Then it is asking us for the to format, that in which format we want to change this date and time into. And here in this drop down as well, here you can see a list of different date and time formats. Out of all of them, here is a format of day, month, year, hours, minutes and seconds, and AM and PM. I want to change the date and time in this particular format. So here I have selected to format over here as this. Instead of this, if you want to change the date and time into some other format, you can select that format according to your choice. Then it is asking us from time zone, that according to which time zone we have received this date and time response. So as I told you, we have received this date and time response according to UTC time zone. So from this drop down, we are going to search for UTC and select it. And in to time zone, we have to select the time zone in which we want to change this date and time into. So I'm in India, and in India, we follow the Asia Kolkata time zone. So I'm going to select that particular time zone over here in to time zone. I want to get this date and time according to the Asia Kolkata time zone in this to format which we have selected. So after selecting all the required fields, just click on Save and Send Test Request. And when we click on Save and Send Test Request, here we will see that in response, we will see the exact date and time which we have entered, which we have received from Calendly. But this time, the format of this date is changed and the time zone of this date is also changed. We have received this response in UTC time zone for this particular format. And then here you can see that we have changed the time zone of this date and time and the format as well. So 29th of May 2023 is the date and 11 AM is the time, according to the same time zone for which the user has booked the appointment with us. So in this way, using date time formatter, we have changed the format and the time zone of start date and time of the event. Now we have to follow the same process for this end date and time of the appointment of the event as well. So this event was supposed to be from 11 AM to 11:30 AM. And we have received the end date and time in UTC time zone in this complex format as well. So we have to use or follow the same process. We have to add the same step of date time formatter once again. So instead of adding the whole step once again, what you can do, you can just click on these three dots for this step, and from this drop down, select copy step over here. So this exact same step will be copied. And once again, click on these three dots and click on paste step. After clicking on paste step, here you will see that this exact same step which we have just now created will be pasted below. And here in this pasted step, in the third step, in the previous step, we have changed the format and the time zone of start time. Now we want to change the format and the time zone of end time. So we will just clear this, and from the drop down from Calendly responses, we are going to map the response of end date and time over here. Just select it and map it. And rest of the things are going to be the same. This date and time is in same format which we have selected in the previous step. In the same to format, we want to change this date and time into. The time zone is UTC and to time zone is Asia Kolkata. So all of these steps are basically the same. We have just changed this map date over here. And then just click on Save and Send Test Request. After clicking on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see that in response, you can see the end date and time of this step as well. So here is the same date and the time is 11:30. The same end time of the appointment. So here guys, we have successfully changed the format and the time zone of start date and time and end date and time of the appointment booked by the invitee. Now let's add all of these details to Google Sheets. For that, just click on this Add Action Step button over here, and then here in Choose App, we have to search for Google Sheets. Just select it. After selecting Google Sheets, in Action Event from this drop-down, select the action event as Add New Row. Now just click on Connect and select Add New Connection over here. So here guys, we have to connect our Google Sheets account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, click on this Sign in with Google button. Select your Google Sheets account which you want to connect with Pabbly Connect, in which you have created your Google spreadsheet. And then just click on Continue. And as we click on Continue, we will see our Google Sheets account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making this connection, the first thing it asks us is to select the spreadsheet. And here in this drop down, you can see a list of different spreadsheets. All the spreadsheets which are created in our Google Sheets account can be seen over here. Out of all of these spreadsheets, the spreadsheet in which I want to add these new invitee details from Calendly is named as Calendly Invitees. So here in this particular spreadsheet, I want to add the data. So we are going to select this spreadsheet over here. After selecting the spreadsheet, it is asking us to select the sheet. And here in this Google Sheet, we have created two different sheets. First one is named as Pabbly Connect Demo and second one is named as Automation Setup. So we have given the exact same name of the event as the sheet names over here. So here in this drop down of Select Sheet, you can see the same sheets over here. Now we want that for whatever event we are getting the booking in our Calendly account, we want to add the details of that event into that particular sheet. For example, if we get the resource name, if we get the booking of an event on this event named as Pabbly Connect Demo, in that case, we want to add this new row of event details, invitee details in this sheet named as Pabbly Connect Demo. And then if we get automation setup as the resource name, in that case, we want to add these details into the sheet named as automation setup. So here guys, what we are going to do, we are going to actually turn on the mapping button on in front of this select sheet. Just turn this button on, switch it to the right side and clear the default response. And then we are going to map the response of the name of the event, resource name over here. Just select the response from Calendly and map it over here. After mapping this, for whatever event the invitee is going to book an appointment with us, we will get the name of the same event over here in this response from Calendly of resource name. And here guys, we have actually entered the sheet name as the same name as event. So Pabbly Connect Demo was the name of the event in Calendly. So we have given the same sheet name, and then automation setup was another event. So we have basically entered the same sheet names so that for whatever event we will be getting a new invitee in Calendly, in the same sheet we will be adding the details. So in this way, in Select Sheet, we have mapped this sheet name, this resource name or the name of the event over here. Now here guys, you have to ensure that the name of your events in Calendly is exactly the same as the name of the sheet which you are entering in your Google Sheet. So in that way, for whatever event we will be getting the new invitee details from Calendly into the same sheet, we will be adding those invitees details in our Google Sheet. After mapping the sheet name over here in Select Sheet, it is asking us invitee name, email, mobile number, start date and time, and end date and time. So here guys, you just have to ensure that in all of the sheets which you are creating in your Google Sheets account, the columns or the headers over here should be exactly the same. Like invitee name, email, mobile number, start date and time, end date and time. These are the details I want to add in my Google Sheet whenever a new invitee is created. So for this sheet of Pabbly Connect Demo, these headers are the same, and the sheet for automation setup as well, these headers are exactly the same. You just have to ensure that while entering or mapping the sheet name over here in Select Sheet, here what you have to do, you have to ensure that all of the sheets have the same header. Now here guys, you can see all of these headers, all of these columns over here as fields inside Pabbly Connect. So what are the details? What is the data we want to add while adding the new row? One by one, we have to basically map that data, map these details over here. Let's start with invitee name. We will just click here, and from Calendly, we have received the name of the person who has booked an appointment with us. So we are going to map the response of the resource name over here in invitee name. Then here we have another column of email, where we want to mention the email address of the user. So from the drop down, from Calendly responses, we are going to map the email address. Then let's map the mobile number in the next field. Then we have asked for start date and time. And using datetime formatter, we have actually changed the format and the time zone of date and time, start date and time of the appointment. So from datetime formatter responses, we will be mapping the start date and time. And in end date and time, we will be mapping the response of datetime formatter once again, because we have changed the format and the time zone of end date and time of the event as well. So map it to over here. So in this way, all the columns which we have created in Google Sheet of data, we have basically mapped the details for all of those columns respectively. After mapping all of these details, just click on Save and Send Test Request. After clicking on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see that we have received some response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the spreadsheet and sheet which we have selected, basically in this spreadsheet and in this sheet, all of this data which we have mapped over here is now added as a new row. So let's check it. We will go to our Google Sheet, and yes guys, here you can see that here are the same details of the new invitee which we have just now entered while making the test event booking in our Calendly page. Here you can see the same name demo user, the same email, same mobile number, same start date and time, and the same end date and time as well. In this way, you can see that we have successfully created this automation workflow using which whenever a new invitee will be created in our Calendly account, automatically for whatever event they are making the appointment booking, the sheet with the same event name in that sheet, the details of that invitee of that booking will be added as a new row. So here guys, we have successfully created this automation. Now let's test this automation once. We made a test form submission while creating this automation workflow in Pabbly Connect demo for this event. Now we had another event named as automation setup. So I will just copy the link of this event and paste it in a new tab. And we are going to make another booking over here. We are going to create a new invitee. Let's select the date as 30th of May and time as 10 AM. Let's enter the details or the name of the user as test user. This is the email address. And then this is the mobile number of this user. Let's click on schedule event. So here guys, just now a new invite is created in my Calendly account and they have booked an appointment for automation setup for this event. And we will see as this invite is created instantly within seconds in our Google Sheet, in the sheet named as automation setup, in this same sheet, same invitee details are automatically added, instantly added. Here you can see the same name test user, the same email address and the same mobile number which we have just now entered. Then here you can see the same start date and time of the event. We have booked an appointment for 30th of May 2023. You can see the same date and the time was 10 AM. And here you can see the same end time. So we are basically creating 30-minute appointments, 30-minute bookings. So 10 AM to 10:30 AM was the time. And in the Google Sheet, you can see the same time over here. This means the automation workflow which we have created in this video, this automation is working perfectly fine. And using this automation, whenever a new invitee will be created in our Calendly account, so the details of invitee according to events will be stored in different sheets over here. So not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications with Pabbly Connect. And guys, one more important thing. You will find the clone link of this exact same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can actually clone this same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this automation workflow for free. Also, let me tell you, Pabbly Connect offers you a free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can do it for absolutely free.
If you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can post them on forum.pabbly.com. So if this video was helpful to you, you can obviously like this video, comment down your suggestion, and don't forget to share it with others. So guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.